gentlemen, good evening, and thank you for tuning in to Canal Algérie's news. On to the headlines. In a work and an inspection visit to Tizi Ouzou, the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, inaugurates a stadium bearing the name of late war veteran Hussein Ait Ahmed. The local development in Tizi Ouzou is boosted with several major achievements over the past few years. And a guided visit by the end of our news to the Kasbah of Dillis, an architectural gem that keeps attracting local and foreign visitors. Welcome back. We begin with tonight's main story, where the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, paid a work-in and inspection visit to the province of Tizi Ouzou, during which he inspected and inaugurated several development projects. Round up with Minisa Kepesh.
A warm welcome was reserved to the President by the inhabitants of Tizi Ouzou province. And as usual, the head of state met with the civil society representatives and notables and listened to their concerns. For their part, they hailed the efforts made by the President, namely the interest he attaches to each province. Earlier in the day, accompanied by Army General Said Shangriha, the President of the Republic was welcomed by Major General Ali Sidan, commander of the 1st Military Region and the Governor of Tizi Ouzou. The welcoming ceremony kicked off by the national anthem. Before the President inspected detachments of different forces of the PNA, who paid him the honors. The head of state then hailed both military and local authorities present to welcome him. The head of state presided over the inauguration ceremony of a stadium named after war veteran Hussein Ait Ahmed, located in the city of Tizi Ouzou. President Tebboune was welcomed by the President of the Football Federation, the President of the Board Council of the GS Kabylie, and former player of the GS Kabylie. At the beginning of the ceremony, the President handed over the key of the stadium to the head of the board of the GS Kabylie.
Ajouter à la valeur de l'histoire, je pense qu'on a le droit d'être ambitieux.
He then proceeded to inaugurate a modern sporting infrastructure equipped with all necessary means and achieved according to international standards. Accompanied by Army General Said Shangriha, the President was warmly welcomed by children of Tizi Ouzou, who voiced on behalf of their hometown their joy regarding the President's visit.
Everyone, special thanks be to God for this beautiful day that gathered us with our great President, Mr. Abdelmajid Tebboune. Mr. President, we are lucky enough to have a strong leader like you. We have been better to rely on. Thank you for being such an incredible President. May God bless Algeria and protect our people. Salutamos ao machos. Salutamos ao machos.
President Tebboune also followed a detailed presentation related to the stadium and real asset for the benefit of the province's youth, and with no less than 50,000 seats, equipped with several changing rooms, infirmary, massage rooms, and a VIP lounge, making it fit to host immense sporting events. Another presentation was followed by the President regarding the development indicators in the province made by the Governor of Tizi Ouzou, in which he indicated the growth recorded in the different sectors, namely that of health, public labor, hydro, agricultural development, and all those pertaining to the daily life of citizens, in addition to the efforts deployed regarding investments and ways to remove hindrances facing this sector.
هنيئا للجزائر اولا، هنيئا ولايه تيزي وزو وتستاهل ملعب مثل هذا.
The President of the Republic appreciated the view of the stadium as he received detailed explanations on this important infrastructure, a real added value to the many stadiums built these past years by Algeria and will contribute to the Algerian football relaunch. The head of state then headed to the pitch where he saluted the former players of the GS Kabylie, the technical staff and administrative crew of this prestigious club. The former players of the club didn't fail to express their gratitude for the Hossein Ahmed Stadium, considered as a boon for the province's youth. For their part, the citizens of Tizi Ouzou hailed the visit paid by President Tebboune as he fulfilled all his commitments towards this province.
Like many provinces of the country, Tizi Ouzou benefited from several development projects over the last few years, achievements that give a new momentum and dynamism to the region in the framework of the country's economic relaunch. Manan Maafa explains.
Tizi Ouzou, the home of the majestic Djerdjara Mountains. With its history and Amazigh traditions, this province is the cradle of revolutionaries. Located only a few kilometers away from the capital, Tizi Ouzou is also famous for its cultural and economic heritage and is experiencing today a boom in development.
The state attaches great importance to Tizi Ouzou. Many projects were completed, such as the new football stadium, houses and roads. Our province experienced a real development over the recent years. For example, social housing units were constructed.
Great efforts were made by public authorities in quest of boosting development in this province. Positive results were recorded in various sectors, positively impacting the quality of life of its inhabitants. For example, in the housing sector, a large number of projects across various formats have been launched, with the majority being completed.
I am very happy I finally got my own house. I thank everyone who helped me. Glory to our martyrs. I'm very glad that I finally got my apartment. It's a feeling that I cannot describe.
Regarding the health sector, Tizi Ouzou benefited from a number of projects, a few of which are already operational while others are underway. A huge step forward to strengthen the health sector in this province and alleviate pressure on its hospitals.
It's a relief for us patients. Instead of going to downtown Tizi Ouzou with all the traffic, I get my medical treatments here without any stress.
Even the sector of water resources is peaking as several projects are underway, notably the seawater desalination station.
Our region lacks water. The seawater desalination station will be completed shortly. We thank everyone who contributed in its achievement.
And one particularly highly anticipated project is certainly the Hossein Ahmed Stadium. Renowned for its beautiful architecture, this asset is a boon for the province's sporting sector.
This freshly inaugurated stadium is magnificent. It is a very good thing for our youngsters. This stadium matches the caliber of our team GSK, this great club that gave us so much and gave so much to the Algerian football. This new stadium will surely boost this team.
Tizi Ouzou, land of history, traditions and culture, continue to develop on all aspects and at all levels.
Ahead of the major rendezvous awaiting the country, namely the presidential elections on September the 7th. The withdrawal of the individual sign-in subscription forms is still ongoing at the level of the National Higher Independent Authority of Elections. As of the moment, 34 candidates withdrew files, according to the same body, which recalls in the same respect that its centers are open for this purpose 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., even on holidays. In the daily window on our community's news, and on the occasion of the celebration of Independence Day in Frankfurt, our nationals there reiterated their full and utter commitment to take part in the edification of the country in their participation in the upcoming presidential elections. Mohammed Abi Ismail and Manal Mahaf.
During the celebration of Independence Day, members of the national community in Germany expressed their gratitude for the sacrifices of the valiant martyrs and reaffirmed their attachment to the motherland. For the Algerian community in Frankfurt, the presidential election on September 7th is a crucial event in which they plan to participate massively. The September 7th election is an opportunity for my children, my relatives and myself to vote and contribute even from afar to the development of our country. Young people must participate in the presidential election on September 7th and help build a strong and prosperous country. I urge our community members to massively turn out in this election and contribute to the modernization of the democratic institutions of the Algerian state. The celebration was an opportunity to showcase various traditional Algerian customs reflecting the authenticity and depth of the national identity. Algerians in Germany are united, especially for the success of this major event on September 7th. We have a beautiful country to which we are deeply attached. The tone is set for the Algerian community in Germany. A massive participation in the presidential election will allow the community to remain connected to the motherland by accomplishing their electoral duty for a strong Algeria.
On to the operational report of the People's National Army's activity in the past week. In the context of the fight against terrorism and during a search and sweep operation in Khinshla, a detachment of the People's National Army killed 2 terrorists in possession of 2 Kalashnikov submachine guns, quantity of ammunition, and various objects. In the same context, detachment of the PNA intercepted 7 support elements to terrorist groups during separate operations across the national territory, while the MAT-49 submachine gun and 2 mortar shells were seized in Burj Baji Mukhtar. The framework of the fight against organized crime, the continuation of the tireless efforts aimed at countering the scourge of drug trafficking in our country, combined detachments of the PNA intercepted in coordination with the different security services and operations across the military regions 63 drug traffickers and averted attempts to introduce 17 quintals and 66 kilograms of processed keef through the borders with Morocco, while 45.5 kilograms of cocaine and 941,000 psychotropic tablets were seized. In Tamaras, Burj Baji Mukhtar, and Inkazam, detachments of the People's National Army arrested 150 individuals and seized 37 vehicles, 185 generators, 71 jackhammers, 3 metal detectors, mixture of raw gold and stones, in addition to quantities of explosives, detonation tools, and other equipment used in illegal gold mining operations. On the other hand, 26 other individuals were arrested and 2 Kalashnikov submachine guns, 9 hunting rifles, 5 automatic pistols, 41,200 liters of fuel, as well as 118 tons of foodstuffs intended for smuggling and speculation, and 224 quintals of tobacco during separate operations across the national territory. Similarly, border guards thwarted at the level of our national coast attempts at illegal immigration of 187 individuals aboard traditionally made boats, while 392 illegal immigrants of different nationalities were arrested across the national territory. Zionist airstrike touched on Tuesday's school sheltering displaced people in Abasan near Khan Yunis, leaving behind 29 dead, including children. The Zionist army called on Wednesday the inhabitants to evacuate Gaza. Thousands of Palestinians are displaced for the umpteenth time without any resources. We take a look at the work of the Algerian medical team currently in the north of Gaza Strip. They are trying to help the Palestinians in very difficult conditions. Zionist bombardments and the blockade are complicating the hospital's supplies. Ines Killu.
For the 6-day wedding, the Algerian medical delegation continues its humanitarian mission at the Indonesian hospital in the north of the Gaza Strip, which daily welcomes dozens of martyrs and wounded due to the Zionist entity's incessant bombardments and raids on the Palestinian enclave. In addition to performing delicate operations, Algerian doctors came to support their colleagues, exhausted after more than 9 months of a genocidal war against Palestinian civilians. In the corridors of the hospital, doctors carry out emergency operations due to lack of space in the operating rooms, trying to gain time to save lives. Outside the building, the medical delegation took stock of the extent of the destruction caused by the air and ground bombardments on the Zionist war machinery, in addition to the blockade being imposed on the health sector, preventing the supply of fuel essential to the running of hospital services and endangering the lives of hundreds of patients in the operating rooms. By mobilizing a team of its best surgeons to come to help and treat the wounded Palestinians, Algeria is once again displaying its solidarity and unwavering support for the Palestinian people, despite the inhuman blockade imposed by the Zionist entity on over 2 million Palestinian civilians.
Let's head now to a Mediterranean town, namely Dilis, with its beautiful Kasbah, the oldest in the country, with its pericular architecture and diverse influence. More to discover with both Faria Al-Hamdi and Ines Killo.
Around 100 kilometers from Algiers, Dilis is a typical Mediterranean town with a blend of Berber and Andalusian styles in both buildings techniques and home decoration.
C'est la plus ancienne Kasbah d'Algérie qui date de 1068.
It is the oldest Kasbah in Algeria, dating back to 1068, and the first houses were built by the son of the Prince of Almeria from Spain. Our houses are built in exactly the same way as the other Kasbahs in the country.
Les autres Kasbahs, par exemple, celle d'Alger.
You will also find other Mediterranean architectural techniques like the Byzantine style of stone and brickwork with stone staircases supported by small vaults.
Si on ouvre la porte, on trouve Sqifa.
As soon as you open the door, you will find a sqifa, or the little corridor that take you to Wast al-Dar, or the main hall. Houses were built this way because of al-Hurma culture, or privacy, where alien men weren't allowed to see women, which is why the sqifa is separated from Wast al-Dar. So once the alien is in, the owner of the house claps his hand away to inform women that a foreign man is entering the house.
En arabe, Sqifa, Sqifa, laisser la route. C'est-à-dire qu'il y a une personne étrangère qui va entrer à la maison.
The Andalusian architectural features that make the Kasbah a special case in the Great Maghreb, with its vegetable gardens.
Nous, on a le riad. Le riad, c'est le jardin. Il y a qui sont à l'intérieur des maisonnettes.
We have the vegetable gardens or riyad. It is a type of garden that can be found inside the house or even outside the house. The one inside is small and the one outside is larger and with a sea view. They are made for the first need of fruit and vegetables, and we often find lemon trees and jasmine as well.
Et en général, on trouve le citronnier et on trouve le jasmin. Ça, c'est obligatoire à tout habitant.
The Kasbah of Dilis is a historic tourist attraction, well worth to be visited.
Some beautiful Dilis, we end tonight's news. Thank you so much. Take care.